Hey, everybody, and welcome to the 9 to Side podcast, where we chat with super amazing and inspirational people who've pounded the pavement before and after their 9 to 5s to get their side hustles off the ground. After listening to the interviews with these amazing guests, you'll walk away with a refreshed pep in your step and a newfound motivation to make your side hustle a reality. Hey, everybody, and welcome to Season 1, Episode 17. Just got back from a little spring break in. I make it sound like it's a party, but it was with the kids. Still fun, super fun and relaxing to get tan. And getting tan, I highly recommend. I'm always like, why don't I live in a place where I'm tan all the time? I look better generally. Now I can, get dressed with the lights on. It's great. But anyways, it makes me feel like I want to put on jewelry again, get myself all done up and like a real human in society. But it also did make me think when I'm at the beach about just this whole podcast and the ability to create side hustles and start to make money on the side, and the people that I've talked to who really want to break away from the 9 to 5 and really establish another revenue stream that allows them to truly, make money, but completely on their own time. And one of the biggest, most popular things out there that is referred to in a number of different ways. You might know it as multi-level marketing, or for short, it's called MLM. But basically, it's direct sales companies, network marketing. There's a lot of them out there. Beauty Counter, Rodan and Fields, Beachbody, Stella and Dot. There are some infamous ones, or one of the ones that they've done a documentary on, LuLaRoe. But most of them are incredibly popular. If you haven't been approached by a friend to join an MLM, I feel like that's rare. But they are an incredible way for people to make additional money. But it's the people that I've talked to who are successful at it, it's an amazing way to make an additional revenue stream that allows you to continue doing, your full-time job or being a stay-at-home mom. So my next guest is she's so fascinating. She's from Louisiana. I love her Southern accent. She's so sweet. So unassuming. She's a registered nurse who kind of fell upon one of these multi-level marketing companies called Park Lane Jewelry, one of the more famous ones, and had no sales and marketing background, and is now one of the highest ranked division leaders in the company. And hearing her story and just sort of how she kind of fell into it and how she, got into selling the jewelry is pretty fascinating. And I think it's pretty cool for anybody out there listening who might want something that is their own, doesn't want to start a business, doesn't have the time or the financial resources to do that, but wants to get into something where you can have a little, bit of a business on the side that is part of an already established company, because you really can carve out your own niche. And she talks about that. Without further ado, this is my interview with Tiffany Lanier. So Tiffany Lanier, well, thanks so much for joining. Before we kind of get into everything, I want to hear a little bit of background about you, kind of where you're from, a little bit about yourself, and then we'll kind of get into your side hustle.
Sure. So I'm from a small town called Oakdale. I live in Lake Charles now, but that's where I'm from. It's a tiny little small town, like the population maybe 2,000, maybe. So I've been a registered nurse for well over 20 years. I lost count. I think it's like 24 years now. And I moved to Lake Charles because that's where I worked. I decided to branch out and go to a bigger hospital besides the small community hospital that I was working in Oakdale, because I wanted to learn more. I moved to Lake Charles about, 17 or 18 years ago. And I've been here ever since. And I still work at the same hospital.
Did you grow up in Louisiana? Did you say?
I did. Yes. Oakdale is in Louisiana. It's about an hour to the north of Lake Charles where I live now.
And did you meet your husband in Louisiana?
I grew up with him. He lived on the same street as I did when we were kids. So we've known each other our whole life.
Oh, that's so cute. And so You've been married obviously 14 years, and then you have 2 kids. Is that right?
Yes.
And how old are they?
My daughter is 26 and my son is 16. So they're 10 years apart.
Oh, wow.
And the daughter's from was divorced and got married again.
Got it. Okay. Well, they're good. And you have granddaughters? 2
There's 2. One is 7 and one is 5.
And
That's
close.
adorable.
They're close by, right? So you get to see
Yes,
them.
I get to see them all the time. Usually about every weekend or so, I go and visit for a little bit, or they'll come over here and spend the night. We'll have a sleepover.
So you're still a nurse. And what kind of nursing do you do? Like what area of the hospital do you work in?
Well, my background is intensive care, and I worked in the ER as well. I'm a house supervisor. So that's basically you control a lot of the flow of what goes on in the hospital. You respond to all the emergencies, all the code blues. You deal with all the drama. You deal with the staffing. You decide who goes where, who's going to work where. You look at the numbers in the hospital and kind of rearrange things to make it work so that you can have the staff to take care of all the people in the hospital.
Super great. Obviously during COVID, was it?
Oh, that was on another level. It was
I can't believe
crazy.
It. Yeah.
So crazy. And I was working like full-time hours then, and it was so crazy. Words do not describe the craziness. It really was. Like, it was pretty bad.
Did it make you want to leave, or did it make you want to leave? No?
It didn't make me want to leave, but it made me open my eyes to a lot of things, like just in healthcare, all of the different issues that they face. When this first got here, we weren't prepared. Like, we didn't have what we needed. It was just, we didn't have PPE. We were like sharing stuff. It was just wild. Like, I've never seen that before. And I've been a nurse for 24 years. I've never seen anything like that. So it was just but once it was new, it was a new virus. So we had to figure it out. So once we started getting the flow and figuring things out and because the policy, everything would change every other day. Like, it would be something different that we would have to do differently and add these things in and do this way when we were transferring a COVID patient to another room, or it was okay. It wasn't so bad. Like, we had a flow, we had a system.
All right. Well, let's shift gears now to your side hustle. So tell me now, I guess, give us the elevator pitch of your side hustle and whether you consider it a full-time career or is it a side hustle?
I would say first it was a side hustle. So I just kind of did things and scheduled like events and shows like, online. They're all virtual around my work schedule. So it was limited. Like, I couldn't just not do Park Lane all the time, but I was still making significant income even when I was just doing it like part-time even.
So back up just so everybody knows. Tell us about what your side hustle is or what your...
So Park Lane is a jewelry company, and I got introduced to it when my sister and my niece, they had a style event, they called it. It was online, and basically the stylist shows the jewelry live on camera and tells you how to work the sale and tells you, to contact her, send you a list, and she'll help you get the best deal. So I wanted to support my sister and her event, and I never heard of Park Lane, didn't know what it was. And I got my jewelry and I said, oh, this is pretty. And I bought some more. And then I decided to have an event because the hostess rewards caught my eye because you could get so much rewards just for having an event. If you invited your friends and 10 people shop, they get $400. The hostess gets $400 in free jewelry and you get to pick it out. And that's pretty incredible. So I was like, I love this jewelry. I'm going to go ahead and have me an event. So I had one and I got the rewards, and I had a second one a little while later, like right after the hurricane that hit Lake Charles, Hurricane Laura, which was almost a Category 5 and tore everything up here. And not long after that, I had an event just for something happy to do, something fun. And I ended up joining as a stylist. Like, we ended up flipping my show, and I decided to just do it. I had no intentions of selling anything. I just wanted the free jewelry. And my friend Lori was like, just have some fun, post some pictures, do a little style group on Facebook, and invite your friends and family, and just have like a little show in there and show the jewelry and see what happens. Well, I sold about $3,000 worth of jewelry right there. And I was like, holy crap.
I want to back up because I have so many questions about Park Lane. Basically, it is a side hustle because you're still doing nursing. So you do Park Lane on the side. And it earns you a good amount of money, right? Could it be a full-time job with the amount of money that you make?
Yes. The amount of money I'm making right now is more than what I made full-time working as a nurse in the hospital. I'm making more than that now. Yeah. I'm shocked because I'm not a salesperson. I don't have a background in marketing or anything. Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. That's what I tell everybody. I don't know what I'm doing. Like,
okay. I'm intrigued now. Okay. Now I need to walk back. All right. So your side hustle, for everybody, just to clarify, it's Park Lane, and it's like a direct sales kind of company. Like, there's other companies out there like this where you can host parties, like a beauty counter and a Rodin & Field. Like, they have a lot of those. So you kind of just went down this Park Lane path. The reason you started it was not because were you looking for a side hustle or looking for additional revenue?
No. I really wasn't. No. My husband works in the chemical plant here where I live, and he does well, and my job pays well. I mean, we're fine. I don't need any. We're good. We're stable. We have good savings.
So you just started because you were invited to that party by your sister or sister-in-law. Then you were like, great, can have some free jewelry. So then what was the next steps? I'm just trying to figure out. You went online, you got introduced to Park Lane, and you become a stylist. So explain to people what that is. That basically like becoming your own sales rep for the business? Like how does it, how does it work?
What you do is you can sign up as a stylist and for $99. So I signed up for $99 and I got to pick out $500 worth of free jewelry. It's tax free. The jewelry, they don't tax it. They ship it to you free. You get to pick out what you want and you use that like it's supposed to be to show or to get your business started. Higher packages like one is $229, I think, and you get $1,000 in jewelry, and the other one's $4 something, and you get $2,000 in jewelry. Well, I just did $99 because I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money because I just had an event. I was already getting like $400 or $500 of free jewelry, and I'm going to get 500 more. So I was good with that. I was like, oh, that's a lot of jewelry. I'll be good for a little while. I wanted all the bracelets. I wanted to add and finish getting all the bracelets because I love the bracelets. Then my friend Lori was like, you know what? Just try it out and see what you think. Like, just try it out for the holidays and see what you think. Like, if you don't like it, no big deal. You didn't lose anything. Like, it's $99. You got your money back. No big deal. I was like, okay. You can post some pictures. Like, introduce it to your friends and family and see what happens. So that's what I did. We flipped a page that she did my event in and we made it my style group. And I just started adding more friends and family in there. And they were adding people in there. And then I just posted some pictures. Like, I didn't even go live or anything. I posted pictures of the jewelry and explained what it was and put a lot of pretty pictures up there. I started selling it. In 2 days, it was like $3,000. And I was like, oh my gosh.
So for you, you pay $99. That's like the minimum. You put out $99. You get all this jewelry to host a party. Are you picking out the jewelry that you get or do they send you what they send you?
Oh, you pick it out.
You pick it out. So you're curating the styles and then you're like your own stylist. You decide what you like. And then you put it up on your own page. Like I saw you had kind of a dedicated page. And then you just try to get people to buy it and you try to just sell it until it's completely sold out.
So I don't have any inventory other than what I show on camera. I have a website so they can order from my website and it ships directly to them.
Oh, got it. Okay. So you're not carrying the inventory. You're not doing any shipping. You're getting the inventory. You're taking pictures of just the one item and then you're just trying to get people. Oh, I get it. So you're just trying to get people to buy that item that you have. And
yeah, so I have a good, most of the collection that we have, I've gotten it through, we have Rich Rewards program. So a certain amount in the first 2 weeks of the commission month, and you get $250 of free jewelry you get to pick out. That's every month. And then if you go up and sell a little bit more, you get $300 more in free jewelry. So you don't have to buy the product once you kind of get going. You just way. That's kind of what I did so that I'll have more to show on camera. Like when I did lives and stuff, because what happens is you book an event with a hostess and you create a Facebook group for her and she invites all her friends and you show the jewelry live on camera. Like you hold it up, you tell about it, tell how you can style it, give them examples and show it. I mean,
oh, for a hostess. So there's a difference between being a hostess and a stylist. There's people that actually.
No, it's the same. So if you're a hostess, you're just hosting the event, right? And that's what I was doing. But when Lori talked to me about it, it's just like, so we can turn this into your show. Like we can make it to where you make the commissions off of your show. She said it's flipping the show. So basically I signed up for $99 and I got the commission for the show that she did for me. Like I was the hostess, but I turned into a stylist. So I got the commission check. I got my $99 back immediately plus some. I think my first check was like $400.
What is the benefit of being a hostess then? If you can just do what you're doing?
So a lot of people don't want to do that. Like they're like me. I had no intention of selling anything. She just kind of talked me into it by trying it for the holidays, right? Most people just want to host the event, be a host and just get the free jewelry. They don't have to flip the show. They don't have to become a stylist. They can just continue to be the hostess and get all the rewards and be a customer. Some people they don't want to do the lives. They don't want to you don't have to do lives. You can post pictures. You can do all kind of things. There's all kind of options.
I feel like a lot of people I get outreach from friends and stuff who are doing different things and they'll go live and like talk about the different styles and things like that. So do you feel like that works? That helps to sell your stuff? Is it sold to your friends?
I've met a lot of people. So these style events, like when the hostess books a party, she invites all her friends and sometimes it's people that I don't know and they're people from other states. So I've had customers from all over the place that I would have never known if it wouldn't have been for having these events. Meeting them through these parties and they get their jewelry. They love it. And you make a connection with them and they continue to shop with you, and then they host events and then they get their friends involved, and it just keeps going and going and going.
What does the hostess make of your sales? Does she make a cut of your sales?
No, she just gets a bunch of free jewelry. She just gets to pick out her reward for having the event. And I usually like gift them something nice. I let them pick out something that they like that's high end, and I gift it to them as well for hosting. I'll just do that kind of as a thank you for me.
I got it. Okay. So you could just host an event and then you're not like selling anything. You're just offering to host, and then somebody else is presenting like the stuff that they're selling, and you just get the perks.
Yes.
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is very interesting to me. So what changed your mind after you did the Christmas thing and you were convinced to do it and you signed up? Did you feel like you got kind of a bug for selling? Were you like, I can do this? Like you felt like you had kind of a knack for it once you got started?
No. After I did that, I waited about 2 weeks. I didn't do anything because I really wasn't going to do anything. My friend Lori talked to me. She said, post some pictures in your little group and just see what happens. Like put the price, how much it is, talk about how you work the sale. I was like, I am not a salesperson. I don't even know how to talk right. She started laughing. She was like, you'd be shocked. So I was shocked. So I did that. I just did it just out of curiosity. Like, so when I got that paycheck from that, I was like, okay, this is like real. Like you can make money doing this. So I was like, that's when I said, okay, I'm going to keep going with this and see what happens and see where it goes. So when I got that big paycheck, I was like,
okay, so talk to me about the big paycheck, because I know a lot of people are listening. And the reason that I'm so interested in these programs like Park Lane and kind of the beauty counter and stuff is because I do think it's like a nice option for people who don't want to. Starting a side hustle is a lot of work. It can be a big investment. It can be very time consuming, and it doesn't always right away pan out to additional revenue, where I think a lot of these kind of companies give you the opportunity to more easily have a platform to kind of just jump off of and get into. So how does that when you say big paycheck, how much money are you getting from the sales? Like, give me an example of how that works.
So when I first started, I didn't come in with any experience in sales. Like, so they actually have a program for people who do. So I'll explain that in a minute, but I came in just regular, don't know what they're doing. I'm just a fashion stylist. I made 30% commission off of my sales. 30% was pretty good. So you do 3,000, that's, you do 30% of that. That's what I made. I was like, this is kind of neat. I didn't do nothing but post pictures. So then a girl that had an event with me, she didn't join right away. She got a bunch of free jewelry. She loved the jewelry. She thought it would be fun. She decided to join. I didn't even ask her. She asked me. She's like, I want to do this. I think I would have fun. I was like, okay, let's do it. So we signed her up. She had her first event. She did what they call qualified, meaning she sold $1,000 within her 5 weeks of joining. And I promoted to a branch director. So my commission went up to 35%. Then I had other people that had joined and the same thing kind of happened. And so people joined under her. And then I promoted to area leader and my commissions went up to 40 to 45%. And then it just kind of kept going. And now I promoted to division leader. And now my commissions are anywhere between 45 and 50% depending, but definitely always 45%. So that's good.
That's really good. Because, okay, you watch these videos, and this isn't to say anything, but like, there was a documentary recently on the Lulu. Right?
No, I understand. I ask questions too. She showed me the car plan. I didn't even look at it because I had no intention of doing anything. But I did ask a couple of things because I know about all of those companies because I have friends who are, sold different things, and I always try to support them. But, it ended up being like they didn't make any money. They spent all their money.
Right.
Right. Well, with this company, it's different because you don't have to do things every month to keep your title. So I'll always be a division leader no matter what. I don't have to do crazy things each month. Like I know some companies you have to do all kinds of things and get it each month to have your commission and your title. Park Lane's not like that. It's for life. There's no quotas. There's no minimums. There's no quotas. And unlike a lot of other companies, when my downline purchases, they make commission off of their purchases, just like I would make commission off of my own. Like if I order on my web link, I get commission off of that. If they order on their web link to order something for their grandma or whatever they want to do, they make commission off of that. So it's not like other companies to where, your downline you're dependent on them to buy, and you're encouraging them to do that because you're making money off of them. It's not like that at all. Right. So that's one big difference. So I think that's why a lot of people are attracted to Park Lane because it's different like that, and why the capability of making the money is there because of the amount of commission you can actually make. It's different than a lot of companies.
And thank you for clarifying that. And I mean, I think there are a lot of options. You see them. And I think for somebody listening, it is a real question because it's like if somebody wanted to do one of these things and was maybe picking something, maybe it wasn't jewelry they were interested, but fashion or something.
Right. Or skincare, they have different things. Yeah, they have different
exactly
compensation plans for different companies do. Beth out there. I'm sure there's other direct sales companies that have great compensation plans. But I know just the fact that you don't have minimums and you don't have to do all kind of crazy stuff to get your title every month is amazing. I don't know what other companies do that, but I think it's great that they do that. So I don't have to worry about, I got to sell this much this month to keep my title. I don't have to do that. If I don't sell squat this month, it's okay. I'm still going to keep my title when I sell something the next month.
I think that's a really good point, and I think that's good to note because then people can, kind of look out for that because I think it is a lot of pressure. You have to keep up with a certain amount of events and selling that. So how many events do you currently do or how many?
Now, I usually do 2 a week. There's some stylists who do more. Even if it's a small event, they want to have it. There's been some weeks that I've done 4 a week. It's busy, but it's not crazy because it's all online and you just reschedule everything. You can still deal with your family and do the homework and all of that, which I like. And you can do it how you want to do it, which is awesome because they have different apps that you could schedule your posts and it just does it all for you. You put it in a folder. So this is post 1, post 2, post 3, and it does it for you. So it's pretty cool.
So I wanted to ask you about that when you were talking about the post, because one of my questions is, are you actively trying to get clients and new people to buy your jewelry, I guess, like consumers? And if so, what are some of the ways that you're doing that?
So basically the way I'm doing it is I'll tell and I don't advertise it or anything. I just tell my customers, I'm like, hey, if you share your jewelry that you love with a friend and you tell them where you got it and they shop with me and use something really, really beautiful, I'm going to let you pick out a pretty piece of jewelry. I let them pick out a pretty piece of jewelry of their choice, even if a high-end piece of jewelry too, it's like a referral. You know how some businesses call it a referral? Mm-hmm. I just tell them, hey, this customer is shopping with me now because you showed them your jewelry and now they're shopping and so it's just like referrals, word of mouth. It works. I also events. I just meet different people that way too and just to kind of build a connection with them because I'm a people person and I like to talk. I just make friends with people like that and the network grows through there. That's how it's happened. I mean, I haven't had to plaster myself everywhere and get on Facebook and say shop, but I don't do any of that. I just kind of let it happen and just,
you're obviously a people person. It sounds like you get on and you make connections. And I'm sure it also has to do with your style, right? I mean, you're picking out the items, so people have to like what you're picking out. Right.
I try to show things that are popular and I try to, when I'm on camera doing a style event, I try to be dressed well and have, the jewelry styled pretty. And a lot of times people will see it and they're like, oh, that looks so good. I got to buy that. They'll buy what I have. They'll buy the jewelry I have on. You just try to style it to where it looks nice and always look nice when you're on camera. Like now I look like a hot mess.
So I wanted to ask about when you were talking about the styling and you're all, you're dressed and you're talking about the jewelry. Is it like QVC, where you're having to talk about each piece and sort of sell it? Or what are you doing?
No, I don't go that far. I'll hold it up and I'll be like, this would look cute. I'll give 2 examples and I'll just tell what it is. And I'll say, you can get this at half price with our sale. It would be this much half off, and I'll move to the next piece. I go pretty fast because I try to do a live, within 45 minutes or 40 minutes, because if you're on there too long, people are going to get bored. Different tops and I'll hold the earrings up and you could show how you can wear the different earrings and how they look because some of our earrings have natural stones and they might be blue in color. So I show them how you can wear that with a hot pink or with a chocolate brown because they think that they have to wear it just with blue. They can wear it with all the other things in their closet. Give them tips like that. I'll do stuff like that to help.
So are these women at the parties, are they all huddled around a computer then for the host and they're all just watching you for the 45 minutes and then they're drinking and eating and
sometimes they're just at home and they're all at different places and they just watch from their phone or their computer at home. Sometimes they gather to the hostess's house and they do it together. But with COVID prior, everybody was kind of just staying away. But now they're doing that. I know that not too long ago, the hostess had a cable hooked up to her TV and they all watched the live at the same time. They watched it all right there like that. And then they all made their list and we made their carts and they made their orders and did it that way.
Well, that's what I was going to ask. So after the party, let's say they were like, great, I love those earrings, want to do this. Does the host go around and collect the orders? Do they write stuff down on paper?
I tell them to just browse the site and send me your list and I will do all the rest. So I do everything for them. I make their little carts because we have a sale the way our sale works. We always have a customer sale. Like when you buy 2 pieces at regular price, you get 4 half off or up to 4.
So you were saying you will handle all the orders. They'll place the orders and you'll do all of it. You'll have like discounts and things like that they'll be able to take advantage of. And then once that's done, you send that all in and then it gets shipped to them. Like Park Lane takes care of all the shipping and everything. You don't deal with that. You just submit
I don't deal
all
with
the
any
orders.
of that. I just submit all the orders. I put it in the cart nice and neat for them, and they check out from that cart and put their credit card in and ship straight to them. I don't have to worry about all that shipping and, oh God, I don't have time for that. That'd be crazy. That's more money you have to spend.
It would be crazy. And how often do you get paid?
I get paid every week. So
every week you get
every week. It's every week.
Do you get a check? How do they give you
direct deposit? And we get an email so direct deposits on Tuesday. And, but I get the direct deposit email telling me what my check is every Friday.
Are you slowly selling me on this Park Lane? As you're talking, I'm like, I'm like, it kind of sounds. I know you work for Park Lane. So obviously, how long have you worked for Park Lane?
I started in November of 2020. So a little over a year ago. Not that long.
Oh, not that long. Okay. So why Park Lane over just buying? And I've always wondered this for kind of all of these. Why would you buy jewelry through Park Lane as opposed to just buying jewelry directly yourself or from somewhere else, like another retailer or store?
Because the quality is really good. They have a great unconditional guarantee. And I like that about that because I had something one time that I dropped and didn't know it fell. I dropped it. I had it in my hand and I got sidetracked and I ran over it. And they sent me a new one with no questions. They sent me a brand new one for free. They have a great guarantee and the quality's really good. For the prices, the quality's good. So that's what I like about it. Yeah. I didn't know what it was prior to when I bought it at my sister and niece's event they had. So once I saw it in person, I was like, this is really pretty. And so I started asking people, I started looking it up and found out that they've been around for a long time, 66 years or something.
Yeah,
so
it is crazy. I was reading their story and I was just, I was interested to see how kind of they got there and how long they've been around. And it is interesting. I mean, where do they get their jewelry?
So it's different vendors from different places.
And how often do you get new inventory? Can you request that anytime or is that on a scheduled?
They are constantly dropping new things just to keep it interesting. They're pretty on trend with their jewelry. They do a lot of inspired pieces and they do some of their own too, but they drop stuff new all the time. We just had a new collection that came out for the spring and the summer. It's gorgeous. Everybody's loving it, but every now and then they'll drop just some pretty new things just to add to keep it fresh. Catalog gets old after a while. You have to but they don't try to overwhelm with too much stuff, but they do try to keep it fresh, which is smart.
Yeah.
They'll do something called a style drop. And what that is they'll only have, a limited quantity of it and they'll discount it. But once they're sold out, they're gone. So people go crazy over the impression bracelets that are style drops because they're gorgeous. And once they're gone, they know if they don't get it, it's going to be gone forever. And so that's pretty smart that they do that. But, people buy those up and once they're gone, they are gone. They do because they don't have a lot of them made. I guess that's a sales strategy that they have, but it's really smart.
I feel like that's QVC all over the place.
Some of those bracelets sell out in 24 hours before. So people know that love those and they want to get that. They'll purchase it before they sell out.
Do you get first dibs on all that?
No, we are able to earn things though, with our sales and different things. So a lot of times we get the jewelry if we sold. It don't have to be a lot. If you sold that $1,500 worth of jewelry, you get something. They're going to send you something before it comes out, and you're going to have it to show your customers. You earn it, Wow. So they'll do all kinds of incentives like that throughout the month to give you the opportunity to earn those things for free. So a lot of the bracelets that I have, their impressions, I got those for free just through sales and their incentives that they offer.
Wow.
I do a lot of great things.
I feel like there's a lot of upside to this. I'm kind of loving it. You still have your full-time job. This is why people do these things, right? And this one seems like Park Lane seems like a very reputable company, which is why I was interested in speaking to you because I know there are a lot out there and there's some not great ones. It's good for you to sort of tell us about the pros of Park Lane too, for other people who might be listening to be able to do their research and figure out what to look for.
Yeah. The thing that I like about it is because I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm a nurse and I'm not a salesperson. And so you don't have to be up in marketing for your whole life or know how to do all kinds of things to do well. That's what's good about it because you have people that's on the same team as you or whatever, and they create graphics. They do a lot of things for us that helps us out. I basically just be myself. I think that that's the biggest thing. I use my own words. I'll just be real. I'll just be myself. I don't know
You're
if that
just like,
helps
I'm
or
just
not.
myself. This is my jewelry. If you want to buy it, you can. No pressure.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still in shock. All of this is shocking to me because my income has been crazy. I'm making more than what I did at the hospital. And I earned a trip for me and my husband to Key West. We're supposed to leave Sunday.
Oh my gosh. Congratulations from your
From
sales.
Park Lane. Yep.
Oh, because you were a top seller. Do they give out incentive trips?
There's a lot of people that weren't top sellers that earn that trip. They try to make it to where they want people to earn the trips. So they'll do all kind of incentives like this month is going to be double points. So everything you sell is double to go towards the trip. So they'll do stuff to try to boost people so that they can earn the trip. I didn't even realize that I had the points to earn the trip until Lori's like, hey, have you looked at your points? I'm like, no.
So is that airlines and stay, or is that airlines and stay goes to Key West? Wow. Okay. So when you're talking about a lot of money, are you talking about in terms of the salary? Like, could you make six figures doing this?
There are people that do. I'm not there yet, but there's people that do. My average income is anywhere between $1,400 to $2,000 a week.
Wow.
That's been consistent probably for the last year straight. Yeah. Let's do it. I mean, it's amazing.
Did everybody hear that who's listening? I'm like, it's like a pin drop. I'm like, I'm sorry, come again. Did you say $14,000 per week?
No, 1,400, not thousand.
Oh, sorry, 1,400. Sorry. Okay.
So yeah, a week. So 14 we do $14,000 to $2,000 a week for me. I mean,
that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Just by speed at your house and doing what we do. I mean, it's pretty cool.
It's crazy. And so you're a division leader, and is there a move up from there, or is that the top of
Yeah, they have senior division leader, and then they have a vice president. There's a sales vice president, and then there's the executive. That's the top. Like, that's as high as you can go.
And do you see yourself moving up in that's all based on sales?
It's based on sales and like team. Like if your team grows and the sales is there, yeah, you can totally do it. Totally.
How many people are on your team?
Probably like 25 or 28. I don't have a large team, but they all they work it. So they produced a good team volume. You know, they're doing really good. I have like two people who just basically signed up for jewelry, and that's fine. They're my friends. So when they want something, they'll usually buy it from me still anyway, but they just put all that free jewelry with the kids.
Okay. Do you have like team, or are they just like, now you've got accumulated these people, they're sort of working independently, but they're under your umbrella, or is there more you have to do to manage?
No, they basically under the umbrella, and they kind of work on their own. They're independent. I help them with questions. They'll contact me. And then we have a bigger team page of the girls that I'm under, and we all kind of just on the same page, and all the information's there. When they're having an incentive, it's there. And then we have a team chat, and I'll make sure I remind them about things like, this is the incentive, just in case y'all didn't see it here. But that's about it. I'll let them do their own. They do them, which is good. You know.
And I love that you didn't have that background. You obviously do know somewhat of what you're doing, because you've done really well at this company. I mean, you've made it to division leader. You're making really good money, and you still have a full-time job. So you're doing something right. You mentioned there was another track for people. Just for anybody that's listening, if you do have a sales background and you're coming in and you just kind of maybe want to make a move, maybe you want to leave the 9 to 5, right? And you want to take your sales skills and you want to leverage them somewhere else, like a Park Lane. You said there's a track for people like that. What does that look like?
It's called the Directive Point program. And that's when they will honor, like if you have direct sales experience, and it does not have to be jewelry, they will honor that, and they will bring you in at whatever our titles is at an equivalent of whatever they were when they were with that company. So I had a friend that just joined under me. She sold LuLaRoe. She came in as an area leader, which is very, she's making 45% commission. Her first paycheck was $1,000. Like, she's killing it. She's already sold like almost $10,000 worth of jewelry.
She did work for LuLaRoe. Oh, interesting. Do you know her?
I knew her. I knew her prior. So she talked to me and she asked me, she's like, I'm intrigued by what you're doing. She had quit doing LuLaRoe like a long time ago. She was one of those that jumped off that ship long time back, like years ago, over a year ago. She kind of just saw what was going on. And so she decided to just change gears, and she had a full-time job. She still does. She has the same full-time job. And so she just continued to work her full-time job, and she just didn't do that at all anymore. She loves to style. She loves fashion. She loves jewelry. She's like, I'm watching what you're doing. Tell me a little bit about it. I'm intrigued. So when I explained to her about the Directive Point, and I put her in touch with our person that kind of heads that, her name's Cassidy, and she called her and talked to her, then she signed up. She's making 45% commission.
Wow. That's very cool. I think it's nice they have tracks for both people who want to come in who are new to doing anything like this, and then people who might have some experience. And it's interesting that she came from LuLaRoe too, because of all the publicity that business received for doing the same style of the same structure of business. But you obviously, have talked about how Park Lane is different, which it's always seemed like a reputable company. And obviously Kelly Girl Styled, who I interviewed, she's great, does it quite a bit. And so I guess the difference too between you two, which is interesting, is that Jenny talked some, I mean, it's obviously not her main business right now, but about building your brand and how you really have to differentiate yourself because there are so many sellers out there who are doing these kinds of businesses. But for you, it doesn't sound like that's really something that you care to do, or you're perfectly happy just making the extra money that you're making and it works. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm just like being myself and just showing jewelry to people. And I love it. I think I have fun doing it. And I think people see that. Like I'm not like trying to shove something down their throat. I'm just having fun and they're having fun and whatever happens, happens kind of thing, and it's been wonderful. Like I'm still in shock.
So do you feel like you have plans? Do you even think about this, or do you have plans of where you want to see yourself with Park Lane in a couple of years? Do you have goals for it like a business, or do you not?
I'm starting to now. Before I really didn't have, I was just kind of like with the trip, it's how the chips fell. I wasn't like, oh God, I got to get this trip. I wasn't like that. It was just whatever happens. If it works out, it works out. If it don't, okay, I'll live. It's just, so I'm now starting to kind of look at the bigger picture now that I'm seeing all the money that you can make. So yeah, absolutely. I'm kind of looking at things but I'm not going to force things. Like I'm just going to kind of try to see how it happens naturally. I'm not going to just go pressure people, and I'm just not that kind of person, I guess. But I have goals for sure. I mean, you have to. I mean, if you want to do anything, you have to have some kind of goal or have some kind of mindset to want to achieve something. So, I'm definitely, for sure.
And is really the goals are around kind of just moving up through the company, like through those positions, right? Because if you get to the top, is that you essentially just work there forever. You're making super great commission, obviously, and you're continuing to sell, but that's as high as you can go in the company.
Yes. And then usually that happens, you usually have a decent sized team and it just keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. And you just basically, you still sell. Like the vice president that I'm under, she still sells, but her team always is growing and growing. And she helps her team and then sells too. I mean, everybody loves to, like the people that, even though it's tons of money, they still sell. They still do their live shows and everything because they love it.
Is there anything that Park Lane does this is very obviously independent. Anybody can join and sign up, and it's, not like working for a corporate company, I guess, but do they have team outings for you or bring everybody in, all the sellers or the stylists ever?
Yeah, they'll do like this trips, like the CEO is going to be there, their family will be there. They always go on the trips, and then they have like private Zoom, like they have Zooms where we get to talk with the CEO, or they'll have, all kinds of fun things. Like when they had their birthday celebration, we did all this Zoom thing with the CEO because it's so far, and we're not all over the place. So we're all able to do it together over the Zoom. So yeah, we do stuff like that all the time. Cool. It's really awesome.
And then I guess I wanted to kind of shift gears just about how having this extra revenue stream, which is cool because I'm talking to a lot of people inside. Some people have side hustles that are just, they want to maintain them as side hustles because they're perfect that way. They love their 9 to 5, just like you. And it's an added revenue stream. How has it changed your outlook on things in terms of like how you feel about yourself or what you feel like you can accomplish, your happiness? Like,
I feel more confident. Like I had no idea I could I didn't think I'd sell anything. That's what I told my friend. I was like, I'll never sell anything. Nobody's got a jack for me. I mean, I'm just a nurse. What am I going to do? Say, here, buy this? I mean, what am I supposed to do? And she would die laughing at me. She was like, you'll be shocked because you're funny and you're likable and you have a lot of friends. And I was like, okay, we'll see what happens. And I was in shock, but I definitely have more confidence in myself and my abilities to do things I didn't think I could do. Like, didn't think I would have the capability or I didn't have the confidence in myself to even do any of this. Like, I didn't think I'd do anything with it. So it's definitely given me a lot of eye opener. Like, if I can do it, I feel like anybody can do it. You just have to be yourself and just be positive. Just be you. I mean, that's all I've done, basically.
Yeah.
But I've definitely learned to be comfortable with being me. Because at first I was like, oh, people's going to laugh at how I talk because of my accent. as perfect as most people. Like a lot of people would have scripts when they would do their lives, and they would be scripted and everything was perfect. And I'm like, I'm not like that. That's not me. And people might not like that.
Yeah.
But I was shocked because people like, I mean, I got a lot of good response to it, and people
like real. They like
real.
Do you feel like this has opened the door for you to want to start other side hustles, or do you feel like you're so content with kind of your life in nursing and your kids are grown and now you have this extra revenue stream, which is so nice? Or do you feel like there are other things you'd like to kind of pick up on the side now that you have this extra confidence from?
I think I'm happy with what I'm doing right now. And I hope to continue to expand on that and just keep growing and growing and growing it and see what happens. Like I'm going to stick with it and see where it takes me. I'm excited about it. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, well, I'm impressed. I looked at your jewelry and I already have some things that I love. So I'll have to take a look and I see how this all starts. And I'm also feeling like it just does seem like so appealing. So for anybody listening, I feel like it's definitely worth checking out. I always end kind of the call with it is sort of in closing. I want to just hear what kind of tips would you give people who are looking to start a side hustle, probably particularly in this area, I think, because I think you are so now well-versed in this particular area. But what would you say to people? Like, what are some tips?
I would tell people that to definitely be themselves. Don't feel like that they have to copy the script or use somebody else's word. Just be you. You can take things from other people and use that and learn from that and then make it you. Make some of it you. And people respond well to that. And just don't there's always going to be ups and downs, of course. I mean, you might have an event that sucks, but it's not, you can't take it personally. Sometimes the hostess' friends suck and it doesn't always pan out the way you want it to, but you just hang in there and you keep going and kind of be patient and let it flow. But I think positivity matters. Like if you're positive and you're always reflecting that and just love what you're doing and people see that, then everything else will be fine. Like it'll take care of itself. You don't have to stress. That's kind of how it's been for me. I mean, I haven't had a lot of, it's just, I don't know if it's luck or what, because like I said, I don't have a lot of experience at all. But I have now, since I've been doing this, I've learned along the way. I've just kind of watched the other people and taken things from them and made it me. Like I just did things differently just a little bit to where it was me. Just be yourself and be authentic and love what you do. That's all you got to do.
I think that's great advice. I love it because it does so well for you. I mean, you really accidentally kind of were so successful with this thing, saying that, didn't even plan to do that. Well, that's great. And you don't even have to leave to go anywhere, which is, well, thank you so much. I mean, in closing, I just want to tell everybody where they can find you. I know you sent tell them where they can find you on Facebook or if you have a direct email.
I have a Facebook, but I couldn't even tell you like what all of the things are. It's just, you can search Tiffany Lanier and you can find me there and I can direct you everywhere you need to go. And I think I sent you like my little style page link and then I sent you my Park Lane link. But you can find me on Facebook, Tiffany Lanier. You're not going to find a bunch of those.
Okay, great. All right. Well, look you up. Are you on Instagram too or no?
I just started an Instagram as Tiffany Lanier, Tifflanier.
Okay. I'll look you up. I'm very impressed. So thank you so much for talking to me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's nice to meet you.